Hello everyone. So for today, I will discuss on this question which was in the chat group before. So here's the video of it. Sulfur dioxide react with oxygen to produce sulfur trioxide. So there's the chemical equation as written below there. Alright. Next, they give you the relative molecular mass of sulfur dioxide is 64. What this means is that the sulfur dioxide, sulfur is S, dioxide is the oxygen with the 2, is equal to 64. Do not forget that relative molecular mass was the one we have calculated using the periodic table by referring the number at the bottom. Otherwise, you can refer or double check the value here. They give you AR, relative atomic mass of oxygen is 16 here. That's the use of it. Next is the sulfur. Sulfur is 32. Alright, if you can remember, sulfur, the top is 16, bottom is 32. So that's the AR, relative atomic mass. For oxygen, if you can check your periodic table, O, 8, 16, so that 16 is the AR, relative atomic mass. Got that clear? Okay, next we'll proceed. Calculate the relative molecular mass of sulfur trioxide. So sulfur trioxide is the SO3 by referring to the formula, right? Tri means 3, oxide is the O. From what we have learned from naming and writing the chemical formula. So for this part, you only focus the formula. Okay, let me write here. Alright, focus the formula only. I have seen many common mistakes that you include the 2 into your calculation, which should not be done. Okay, so please don't do that next time. We only focus the formula. So let's go back to our calculation. For sulfur, the mass is 32 plus with another element, which is our oxygen. So oxygen is 16, so there are 3 of oxygen, so you need to multiply with 3. 16 times 3. So work it out using your calculator. You get 80. So that's the relative molecular mass of sulfur trioxide. Next, part 2. Complete the following sentences. 128 gram of sulfur dioxide react with blank gram of oxygen. So we must pair them up in a ratio. We take the 2 things, sulfur dioxide and the oxygen. So we use a space here. Sulfur dioxide, you must copy from the equation, okay? This is the part that we need the chemical equation. 2SO2 to the ratio of oxygen O2. Okay, when you see the word complete the following sentences, then you just refer from the chemical equation. Okay, next. 128 gram, but before that we must calculate the relative molecular mass of these 2. You must obey the number in front. Relative molecular mass of sulfur dioxide was this 64. Okay, see here, 64, SO2 64. So we put the 64 underneath here, but we must not forget to multiply 2, because this whole thing only represents 64. Then you need to multiply the 2. Alright, next, oxygen, O2. 1 oxygen is 16, So there's a tiny 2 there, so you need to multiply with 2. 16 times 2. So work it out in your calculator. You get 128 to the ratio of 32. Okay, check the number. This number looks the same, right, from the question? So we can use it directly. So it is literally 128 gram of sulfur dioxide react with how many of oxygen? 32 gram. So this is already the answer, 32 gram of oxygen. So we can write it here. Okay, next, to produce blank gram of sulfur trioxide. Blank gram of sulfur trioxide. So what do we do next? Pair it up from the we take the two things that we need to pair up. So the first thing is already been given, your sulfur dioxide. Next is your sulfur trioxide. So let's write it out. Sulfur dioxide, 2SO2 to the ratio of 2SO3. Okay, follow from equation. Okay, next, what's the mass for this 2SO2? We can just use the value from here, which is this 2 times 64. 2 times 64 to the ratio of sulfur trioxide. Sulfur trioxide SO3 was 80. So that SO3 is 80. Not to forget the 2 in front, we need to multiply with 2. Work it out in your calculator, you get the value 128 to the ratio of 160. So let's zoom out to see the question. 128 gram of sulfur dioxide, yes, correct, will produce how many grams of your sulfur trioxide? This is sulfur trioxide. So the amount is 160 gram. Last question. 3.2 gram of sulfur dioxide will produce blank gram of sulfur trioxide. So let's pair them up. I'll take this sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide into a ratio form. Do not forget that we have to copy from the chemical equation, yeah? Please obey the chemical equation, what is written, especially the number in front. So sulfur dioxide, there's a 2 in front, SO2. Sulfur trioxide also has the 2 in front, 2SO3. Next, calculate their mass. So again, 2 times, how much was it? Sulfur dioxide, okay. Here, 64. Then sulfur trioxide, 2 times, how much was the sulfur trioxide? Let's check here. SO3, 80. Next, we put in the 3.2 underneath the sulfur dioxide column, 3.2. Okay, before that, I'll calculate the value first. Easier to see. Okay, then I'll put the 3.2 underneath the sulfur dioxide column. Okay, then this value, you do your cross multiply. (128x) is equal to 160 times 3.2. Then work it out in your calculator. Then you get the value of 4 gram. So therefore 3.2 gram of your sulfur dioxide will produce X, which is this 4 gram. So I'll put the 4 gram here. Okay, I hope everyone understood this topic. If you don't understand, please comment down. Alright, thank you for listening and watching.